Alright, it is Monday, November 26th, 2018 at 12:46 p.m. Let's take a look at some headlines. Alright, Russian-Ukraine tensions rise after Kerch Strait ship capture. Ukraine's parliament is to decide whether to bring in martial law after Sunday's capture of 3 of its naval vessels and 23 crew members by Russia. The 3 ships were sailing off the coast of Crimea, which was annexed by Russia in 2014, when they were seized. Russia opened fire before its special forces stormed the vessels. Between 3 and 6 Ukrainians were injured. Ukraine said it was Russia's act of aggression. Moscow said the ships had illegally entered its waters. On Monday, Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko said he was proposing that Parliament back a 30-day martial law, half the length of what recommended by Ukraine's Security and Defense Council a day earlier. In televised address, Mr. Poroshenko said he did not want martial law to affect presidential elections set for March 2019. If backed by a military police, martial law would enter into force at 9 local time or 7 GMT on the 28th of November. Sunday's clash between Russia and Ukrainian vessels marks a major escalation of tensions between these two countries. So keeping an eye on that. That doesn't look good for Russia and Ukraine to be quarreling like this, but always keeping an eye on the war across the world, the rumors of wars. Alright, next, South African bees. 1 million die in Cape Town. At least 1 million bees were suspected to have died of poisoning in a wine-producing area of South Africa. Brendan Ashley Cooper told the BBC that it had an insecticide used by wine farmers called fipronil was thought to have killed insects on his farm. Other honeybee farmers in the area of Cape Town have also been affected, but it is unclear how many of the insects have died, he said. Fipronil has been blamed for the deaths of millions of honeybees in Europe. Campaigners said fipronil is highly toxic to insects, and its use was restricted in Europe in 2013. That's so sad that so many bees had to die. And so many reports of low counts of bees around the world. We don't need any more deaths. Alright, next, Iran earthquake. More than 700 injured in Kermanshah. More than 700 people have been injured in a 6.3 magnitude earthquake that struck western Iran on Sunday night, state television reports. The epicenter of the Kermanshah province, where last year more than 600 people were killed in a country's deadliest earthquake in over a decade. Tremors were reported felt across the wider region, with reports of at least 1 death in nearby Iraq Kurdistan. No fatalities were reported in Iran, nor any major damage. You see some damage here in this picture, but no major damage was reported. Alright, next. Whale stranding in New Zealand leaves 145 dead. A group of 145 pilot whales have died and becoming stranded on a beach on Stewart Island in New Zealand. The animals were discovered by a walker late on Saturday, strewn across the beach of Mason Bay. Authorities said half the whales had already died by then, while the other half were put down as would have been too difficult to save them. In separate incidents, 12 pickerel whales and a sperm whale also reached New Zealand over the weekend. That is pretty sad, that 145 whales beached themselves and they died. So many reports of sea animals dying, from the Florida red tide to all over the world. There's reports of fish dying and all these whales passing away and being beached. Let's pray for them. Alright guys, see you next time. God bless, and hit like and subscribe.